All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about the future of money and the huge challenge of writing rules for technology that's literally being invented as we speak. It's a really fascinating problem, and today we're looking at a brand new law that kind of gives us a playbook for how it might all shake out.
So just imagine for a second, a dollar that lives completely on the internet. One you could send to anyone, anywhere in the world, almost instantly, just like sending an email. Now this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. It's the real idea behind something called a stablecoin, and believe me, it has gotten the government's full attention.
Right. So that brings us to the big question. The government is so interested that they've just passed a major law to get a handle on this stuff. But to really get why this is such a big deal, we need to be clear on what we're even talking about.
Okay, so here's the key thing to remember. Unlike other cryptos you hear about that are all over the place, a payment stablecoin is built to always be worth $1. Stable, right? It's backed one-to-one by actual dollars or things that can be turned into dollars really fast, all held in a reserve. And that stability is exactly what could make it useful for, actually buying things, not just speculating.
So let's look at the law itself. In July of 2025, the U.S. Congress passed the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act, or the GENIUS Act. Gotta love the acronym. This thing created the first ever federal rulebook for digital dollars, and the whole point is to bring some clarity and safety to this fast-growing world.
Now, what's really interesting here is that this law doesn't just flip a switch and everything changes overnight. No way. It's a multi-year rollout. And that slow, phased approach is pretty smart, right? It gives everyone, the companies, the regulators, the banks, time to actually adapt to this whole new reality. So if you want to create one of these stablecoins, the law lays out a super clear 4-step path. First, you have to get approved. Second, you have to prove you have the cash reserves, 1 for 1. Third, you've got to follow all the strict financial rules. And fourth, and this one is a huge deal, you're not allowed to pay interest. It's all about making these things stable and safe for people to use.
And this is where it gets really good. Because this new law has basically set the stage for a massive showdown. It's pitting two very different groups against each other. You've got the traditional, old-school banks in one corner and a whole new wave of hungry tech firms in the other.
And this chart just lays out the core conflict perfectly. On one side, the banks are sounding the alarm. They're worried people will pull all their cash out of normal savings accounts. They call it deposit flight, and that could seriously mess with the whole system of lending money. But on the other side, the crypto and fintech folks see a golden opportunity. For them, these rules are finally a green light, a clear path to build new things and get legit.
And you can just feel the relief and the excitement from industry leaders like Ripple's CEO here. I mean, for years, these companies have been stuck in this weird legal gray zone. So for them, this law isn't a restriction. It's the starting gun they've been waiting for to finally build, invest, and really grow. Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute. This whole fight over stablecoins, it's not really just about stablecoins. It actually shows us these timeless problems that pop up whenever we have to regulate some new, fast-moving technology. Whether it's crypto, or AI, or gene editing, this is where it gets bigger than just digital money.
There's this really common idea out there that regulation is just a buzzkill, that it's just there to stop innovation in its tracks. The argument is always that rules just get in the way. But if you actually look around at anything from flying in a plane to eating at a restaurant, you see that's not the full story, not even close.
The reality is a good set of rules is what actually lets a healthy market thrive. It creates trust, right? It makes people feel safe enough to actually use the new thing. It sets clear standards so everybody knows how to play the game. And yeah, it makes sure people play fair. It's about building a solid foundation, not putting up a fence.
But what happens when some new tech creates a problem that the rulebook didn't see coming? That's the constant challenge. Well, it turns out some legal systems are actually building in some pretty cool flexible tools to deal with exactly that.
Think of this like a special power-up for regulators. An innovative order basically gives a court the flexibility to invent a custom solution for a brand new problem, one the original lawmakers could never have predicted. It's a way to make sure the rules can actually keep up with the insane pace of technology. So, we've gone from digital dollars to a brand new law, and even into the whole philosophy of regulation. What's the big takeaway in all of this? Why should you care? Because this whole debate, this balancing act between innovation and safety, deciding who gets a seat at the table, creating rules that can adapt, this is a perfect preview of the massive fights that are coming right down the pike. The exact same questions are going to be asked about every other new technology.